My name is Julia Childs.
My name is Julia Childs. Yeah. All right. So, welcome to the fuck ever this is. This is me and Tony doing a podcast.
Yes.
Casting pods, not fish, and not rods.
And I'm looking at boobs.
Stop looking at boobs.
I'm sorry,
Pull up the question already.
You send it to me.
You're getting us in trouble.
You sent it to me. Can we cuss on here?
I don't fucking know.
I'm a fucking cuss.
I'm gonna fucking cuss on
here.
I'm
gonna cuss like a sailor. No, how does it say? Swear like a sailor?
I swear like a sailor.
There you go. I cuss like...
A swaler? A swaler?
Whatever the fuck that is. Man, put it...
Just shut up and get swifty.
Put my name on it.
See, look at all this. Look at it. You got all the bitches, Tony.
No, that's
you can't even find the damn question, Tony. Look, we're already a minute in and you're fucking shit up.
I'm sorry. They just like to talk.
Oh, look. You just got...
Who's that? Oh, never. Oh, sorry, guys. We're going to get on track now.
We're not getting on track now.
That was nice.
All right, so we're going to go with the first question on our little prompt list that we got from a friend.
This was from, shout out to Stephanie for giving us this one.
Hey!
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it. Okay, so Stephanie asks, or says we should talk about, either way, why is it socially unacceptable to eat dessert before dinner? I contemplate this every morning while I brush my teeth. Serious shit.
Yep.
Hashtag serious shit. This is something any 10-year-old will ask you.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be perfectly honest. We've all wondered this at one point. Like, why does dessert go last?
You know what? And I think it shouldn't matter, man. I mean, it shouldn't, but it makes sense. You know, like...
I think it does and doesn't. I think it depends on how you look at it. So,
right.
First, before we should go about, like, why... Like, let's address the question. Like, why is it not considered appropriate and acceptable to eat dessert first?
All right,
and to do that, we have to first figure out, like, why do we, like... There's a reason for everything, so why do we eat dessert last? You know what I mean? Why is dessert not first?
Mm-hmm. See, I want to start with, you know, like, ice cream, man. It's, you know, it's delicious. You want so much of it, but at the same time, man, you know, you're not gonna get as full as if you eat a full meal. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, and I think the other thing, and so there's like a couple ways you could look at it. I think one of the biggest reasons is that sugar, like at the beginning of the meal, might make you feel like you're actually full when you're not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's obviously not going to meet the protein and other requirement, like stuff you have to break for carbs and stuff, but sugar is definitely what we need for blood sugar and, you know, all this shit. So I'd say that, you know, eating it first, you probably wouldn't eat as much of other things like vegetables. And so that, first and foremost, I guess that might be like one of the like practical reasons.
It's just more sugar. I mean, it depends on your body too. Some people need more sugar. Some people need less sugar. It's just the way your body works, you know.
Yeah, and I'm sure that for some people it's probably actually beneficial to eat dessert first.
Probably.
My other thing with eating dessert first is less of like a physical, like, why is it like, you know, physically, you know, we're hungry, and but why would dessert go at the end? I think it has to do with the word kind of dessert, and like, you know, you always hear the term just desserts.
Just desserts.
And I'm guessing this has to do with like their phonetic similarities, so they're probably based in the same Latin root of deserve, whatever that one is.
Right.
Not certain. Probably should do more background research on some topics.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Right. We don't have time for research.
My minor in disciplinary research, multidisciplinary research techniques. Now, not that either.
We're just talking from our knowledge. So we don't need other people's knowledge.
I would like to remain ignorant.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I think that's why, like, but you save the dessert for the end because you deserve it. It's like.
Would you say it has to do with the whole like format of the kitchen though? Like, say, they took their time to make this big ass meal, and now the dessert, you know, usually are small, you know, chocolate cakes.
Well,
you know,
and you figure dessert. First of all, dessert is kind of a first world phenomenon. I mean, that's not to say there's not desserts and confectionaries in other countries, and there's obviously these, but like the separation in a lot of places wouldn't be the same as when you don't have enough food. Period. True. You know, then everything's nothing's everything's food. I don't know, man. It's a hard question. Like,
you think about it, it seems like a simple thing to talk about, but you know, the more you think about it, it is something.
well,
worth
like
thinking
like I
about.
said, I think I going back into my like health stuff and like eating dessert first, eating the sugar first. You know, that's gonna get your energy revved up. Like you said, it's gonna increase the blood sugar, so it'll decrease some of your hunger unless you're getting super like actually hungry.
And then it depends too, though. Like, you know, today are you feeling extremely hungry where you just want to eat? And
Yeah,
then
like,
to the
are you
point
tired?
Where,
Are you like, because then maybe you should have a little snack, and or maybe not. You know, it's a lot about. They say a lot about being like healthy is eating the right foods, and a lot about eating the right foods is
yeah,
like
exactly. You know, like if you're extremely hungry and starving, are you just gonna go and get a piece of cake? That, you know, or are you gonna go and get some spaghetti that you know is really gonna like hit that spot?
yeah,
You know?
because like a cake's good. Don't get me wrong, but like eating a piece of cake, and it might even make you feel full for a moment.
Yeah.
Like when you finish eating that piece of cake, you feel like you're kind of full,
Yeah.
but you know, 20 minutes later.
Yeah, you're just like all.
Oh man,
jittery
like all
up,
the cake's gone, all the sugar has been burned through. You know,
Yeah,
might still
true,
have some of the
true.
bread, whereas spaghetti, you know, if you got meat and sauce and
yeah, tomatoes. You
you
know,
know,
you
whatever,
gotta kind
you
of
know,
get the whole
the whole.
vegetable.
Well, and that's the whole thing about eating right too. Is like eating balanced is
Yep,
more
true,
important than
true.
this, and that.
So I guess it kind of just makes sense to the body, you know, like the body needs food, you know, and the dessert is just kind of a little extra, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say dessert doesn't fulfill like maybe your nutritional requirements, and that's why it
Yeah.
kind of comes afterwards. It's like, oh, I have extra room in my stomach. I feel like I've eaten enough. Maybe I
Yeah.
can.
Maybe I can.
Maybe
eat
I can a little
more.
bit. I'll stuff a little bit more. you
Yeah,
know,
which
and,
I was thinking that.
and I'm sure that has a lot to
Yeah.
do with our overweight society, and of course, there's a
true.
lot of other stuff that
Well, I mean,
supplies
like
to
I
it.
said,
but-
it's the body too. It just you know your body adapts to it. Me, like I can eat like a big ass bowl and then still.
this guy can eat
so-
anything he fucking
Yeah.
wants.
Mhm.
Look at his. Look at how skinny he is.
I used to be fat.
He used to be fat.
I used to be fat. I don't know what.
It's
the
like
fuck
that's why we
happened.
don't care about stretch
Go
marks.
straight through me. What's it called?
The don't care about stretch marks is like because
Mhm.
you're either big and it got small, or got small and it got big.
Dude, it's crazy. I don't even know how that happened. I mean, to be honest, chunky baby. And dude, if I had a picture, it'd be great. But yeah,
You should see me. I was the exact opposite. I was a skinny little kid, like a twig, little
Twig,
worm.
And now you got some meat on you,
Went to football, did this and that. Fell in love with food.
right? It's just
My one true love.
well, yeah. I mean, and seeing stuff like that. If you play sports, you know, you're not gonna want to go home and just eat like a what a little.
Yeah, you're gonna be eating a lot. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you start with this or that. My little brother's just. I mean, I say little brother, but
He's a big little.
he's a
brother.
big little brother now. My little brother's doing football now for his high school, and he has been, but now he's very much more serious. They got some good coaches. They're doing some real drills, and oh man, I can't even tell you. Like he comes home, he's barely home, and I remember it now.
Mhm.
When I was in high school doing wrestling, like it's the same thing, you know,
Mhm.
go at 7, come back at 7, 12 hours every day, easy,
Yeah.
sometimes more if you're doing weightlifting.
Right.
And at the end of that day, you're dead.
Yep. Your
Like
body-
I see him come home and like smash the dinner we made and smash dinner that they bought on the way home.
Yeah, true.
And you know, granted he's a little bigger and he's a little chunky, you know. But now after doing the football, he's not overweight. You know, he's
No.
not obese. I'd say he's a little chunky, but that's it.
Yeah,
That's
it goes.
fine.
It goes to where it needs to. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, you know. And you know, if he eats a little extra dessert before, you know, if he eats a candy or an ice cream bar, well, he kind of needs it to get through the day. I think that's where it really,
Yeah.
you know,
true.
do you need this extra little thing to get
Right.
through the day, or you got a little extra fat you can burn off?
Right.
I don't know,
And
but
that's how I
and-
is.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's how it is with me at my job. I mean, like recently, like there'll be some times where you know I just bust my ass off, and every now and then I just feel like I need a little extra kick, and I've got me a little chocolate bar to have something, you know, just a
Yeah,
little snack.
something,
to
any
have,
little
you
stuff.
know?
I remember we used to do side, yeah.
Right?
And I think that's where it comes down to. Like we've talked, and we kind of circled around the issue now for a little bit, but we
We're
talked about it at the
kinda
beginning, and I
around.
think we're coming full circle now into that why it's socially unacceptable
Right.
is not because it's bad for you, but because in this society where we've already got so much excess, people seeing you like skip straight to the dessert, and that's kind of our want it now, have
Yeah.
it now mentality in America.
Yeah.
You know, we can't wait 20 minutes for dessert.
Right.
We can't wait so and so long for
Right. Yeah.
the food to cook. We have to make sure it's delivery and it pops out of the microwave in a minute. And so socially, like dessert has become like kind of this like I think last bastion of like acceptable non-healthy eating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because having a snack at midnight's not acceptable, but having a little bit of cake as dessert for dinner is
right.
always, like, I've never heard anyone, like,
Yeah, frown upon that, really. No, I mean, eat your dinner first, and then you have your dessert.
Yep.
You know?
And like you said, you know, and if you do it like that, then no one cares. But it's when you start doing it at other places, I think the social unacceptableness of us now eating everywhere, and
Yeah.
and like you said, and it's probably less socially unacceptable now than it ever was before. Like, it's more accepted now than ever before to eat dinner before this or eat on the go here, especially here. Because back in the day, you know, if you didn't eat dinner at your table, you were like, oh, what's wrong with that family? But now it's so busy.
Exactly.
No one thinks twice, and like,
it's hard, man.
So if you've actually ever had someone like complain about you eating dessert first besides your parents, who are there to like keep you healthy, and I think that's something to do with it too, because now that we say that, my sister actually used to do something with my nieces and nephews that was similar, but not, it wasn't dessert, it was with the drinks. They would drink the Kool-Aid, and they drink 3 or 4 glasses and be full for a little bit, you know, that's fully filling for a while, and then they'd be hungry later. Well, she's got sick of it. She's like, you don't get to have no Kool-Aid until you finish your food.
I think that's what it is too, man. I mean, it's just liquid fills you up more, you know, than... I mean, no.
I mean, I think it just depends. I think that sugar and heavy fats and stuff like that probably
depending
fill.
What the drink has.
Well, and like I said, I think they fill you up, but I think it's that very temporary kind of like, oh well, yeah, but I'm gonna be hungry in 30 minutes.
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, you can eat cake first, or it could be whatever you eat, ice cream. I mean, there's many different desserts, but at the same time, if you eat that before dinner, I mean, you kind of just. You know, think about it. Like, you're not gonna eat dinner the same. It's just gonna be something different. You're not gonna want as much. You know. Well,
and I think it's physically as beings we're designed to, like, you know, we're reward based kind of people. Like, you know, sugar makes us feel good.
Right.
So, you know, it's high up on the list. It doesn't even matter what sugar. You know, sugar tastes sweet, but that's because it makes us feel good. You know what I mean? And you know, it's kind of like the thing. We'll basically go after sugar over, you know, whatever else. Anything else, you know, if you stuff up on sugar, then you don't get what you really need.
Right.
And so that's, I don't know. Do you think that's kind of addresses Stephanie's question?
I want to say, I mean, like I said, you think about it. It's a simple question, but the more you think about it, the more you kind of
like, where are these deeper? Like, where did this word dessert even originate?
True. Very true.
And like, and that's not even to pull, like...
more meaning out of it.
Well, yeah, like, you know, more meaning than it means, but you know what I mean? That is important. Like, everything has to start somewhere, you know what I mean? And sometimes they even start in several places at once, you know, like in the case like the wheelbarrow and shit like that.
And but I learned recently that the first candy made was honey. Was little honey candy. I don't exactly remember the name, but that was technically the first actual piece of candy that was made. So,
that sounds pretty. I mean, it's natural. It's sweet. It's. Right. I think they probably bake it.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of interesting to think where that first piece of candy came from, and then how that traveled into becoming.
Yeah, we have this whole candy. Now. Oh my God, candy's basically its own religion, man. Chocolate. Chocolate's its own religion. I don't care what anybody says.
Technically, yeah. I mean, once you get candy in conversation, you're talking about dessert. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, well, I don't know. Candy, especially now, I feel like has been marketed so much to children as like the snack item, which it shouldn't be. It's like, it's definitely no good for you. Like, it gives you a little burst of energy, but who wants that unless you're trying to get him to run around in a circle 20 times?
Well, not only that, dude, but have you realized now granola bars, which are supposed to be healthy, are more now like
sugary,
more chocolate
and marshmallow,
than the healthy granola part that they want.
Yeah, I remember we used to have granola bars, and they were like, don't get me wrong, they were covered in honey, but it was all grain, and it was some little nuts, and it was a little unpleasant, just a little. You know what I mean? But not like in a bad way. It was just like a little. It wasn't as easy. You know what I mean? It had that fiber, and that fiber really helps. Like that's important. And it's funny you bring up honey too, because honey is really an interesting phenomena itself, you know what I mean? It's really like
so much it does for the world.
And like, yeah, I mean, just don't even get me started. Bees make the world run for us. The world bee.
I'll kill one though.
I'll still kill you, motherfucker.
I'll still kill one.
But oh man.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, Stephanie, if you listen to this, I don't know.
If you did, cool. If you didn't, cool. Okay, maybe not cool.
Right.
This is our first test run. I guess it'll go up eventually.
Yeah.
So,
and we'll kind of get we'll get in the hang of this and learn, and we want to hear from you guys. We want to see what you guys think about this.
Yeah, like tell us what you want to hear us talk about stupidly.
Yep, definitely. I mean,
very
stupid. Very stupid. Like, I mean, positive is always good, but if you guys want to be negative,
hey,
fuck you. So yeah, well, sir.
All right, I think this will be a cool
good
ending.
Ending. Yep.
Goodbye.